know what I mean? But True, I fuck with True all the time, offline and all that shit. I talk to him, so I be saying shit to him. But it's like, my girl's going through this shit right now, and I've been through situations in life that I approached in a way that I was looking for near-death experiences, but I'm not a fucking duck who's gonna kill himself. I mean, so just by looking through near-death experiences, I was like, damn, how did this? Like, you know what I'm saying? And me searching, it came up on psychedelic, dog. Like, this has only been 3 years, dog, that I fucking thought this shit and perfected it and did all this shit within 3 years span, dog. Mad information, dog, to condense into my fucking mind and fucking orbit into a fucking whole new person.
You started your psychedelic journey like 3 years ago?
Yep, like 3 years, dog. Probably not even all the way 3, like 2 years and some change, almost 3 years.
Wow, we all in the same boat, me, you, and True. I started like 3-4 years ago.
That's crazy, bro.
Yo, I started over the summer.
Like
First time I smoked salvia was 2008.
Wow. Yeah, I smoked salvia like in 2011. But like when I first did LSD and mushrooms, it was like 2013. But I was like 17, 23 right now. After that, prior to that, like I took a few other trips. But like when I come in here and see y'all talk about it, it's just like it gives me so much nostalgia for the time I first did it.
Sure. Hey man, listen, I'm gonna have these. What I'm gonna do is this is my next plan.
That's why I want to dive in deeper and get my
hell yeah. Hey man, listen, I'm gonna take these orange caps, man, that are coming up now.
Yeah.
This is gonna be my first time trying them. I'm gonna try 5 grams off rip. But what I'm saying about them is this: that I'm gonna make chocolates, but this time I'm gonna make the chocolates like Andre said, with the fucking cookies and cream, or some vanilla, or some vanilla bean, dog. That shit, I already know. It makes me laugh. It even already makes me feel like the beginning of a trip talking about that shit, because I know how that shit enhances the fuck out of it because of the taste buds. Somehow the taste buds can lead you down a road of like, like you don't want it.
Yeah, they can. They definitely can.
Like you feel nauseous and connected to your stomach all trip, and that's not good.
No.
You gotta detach your stomach to your trip. So the way I do it is by tricking the senses. Good Lindy knows the kung fu. He said he covers his goddamn nose with a swimmer's plug, dog. So there's no taste buds no taste buds are active when your nostrils are covered.
Mm-hmm.
Your taste buds are shut off. So after your taste buds are shut the fuck off, swallow that shit down, then put something that's gonna cover your taste buds and mask everything, cover up, you know what I'm saying, spray some lights all around.
It's like you sneaking it past the government lines, past TSA.
Yeah. You gotta put peanut butter in your mouth, basically, is what I'm saying. And I say you don't got to if you got allergic to peanut butter, but you know, honey, peanut butter, some shit like that, that's powerful. Peanut butter is mad powerful. The taste is like overwhelming. So as soon as you put a little dab of peanut butter in your mouth, take that plug out your nose. No stomach connection, dog. It detaches the mind.
Yo, you probably don't even need the plug. You just use the peanut butter.
You do. I tried. At first, I didn't. The first time I did, it was straight. I just swallowed it, boom, and then I chased it with peanut butter.
So what would you do? You dipped it in?
No, it worked. Like you said, I chased the peanut butter right after, and it took it away massive, boom. Then the second time, it was like a little less effective. And then I had to switch up tactics. That shit finds a way, dog. Like to fuck with you.
Crazy that you say that, bro. Because like the first time I did mushrooms, they were like shroom caps. It was like three G's with my cousin, and like we dipped it in Nutella. Like I ate that shit with Nutella because I didn't want to. Because the taste, everyone's already used to the taste. It's still
scratchy. Like your headset's like scratching on something. Maybe it's the speaker scratching on your shirt or something.
No, yeah, I was just saying, like, I dipped the mushroom in Nutella.
Yeah.
Chocolate. The first time, I was like, fuck.
That shit sounds dope. Nutella's the bomb.
Yeah,
especially
bro. You know how the taste is.
Yeah. That shit like almonds and some more shit. That shit's bomb. No, it's the hazelnuts. That shit's bomb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hazelnut. I like that.
That's what Nutella's made out of. The hazelnut mixed with chocolate.
So, how was your the peanut butter thing? How's that?
The peanut butter was perfect, man. Like just because I covered my nose, I know how. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I asked him how he could swallow down 30 grams, and he said that he just puts them in a big ass bowl, like popcorn,
30 grams,
and puts a big ass glass of water, and puts the nose swimming plugs on his nose, and just goes to packing them into his mouth, chewing until they dissolve.
You talking about Kalindi?
Yep, he just packs his mouth full and chews until it dissolves, and as soon as it's dissolved and he's chewed it and it's mashed, then he fucking swallows with the cup.
Yeah, bro, I was saying,
another handful, and it goes handful by handful. This is what he said specifically, though. He said handful by handful, carves it down, then he goes into his trip, and if he fucking has to puke, he'll make it to the bathroom, he'll fucking puke, and then he'll measure, he'll look in the toilet and eyeball, look like about an ounce, go back and fucking go scarf down another ounce just to top off and make sure that he's still in the range that he wants to be at.
Yo, bro,
that's next level shit.
I kept thinking about the word flavor, and with flavorment, like it's tongue and what you smell put together, and that's what creates a good flavor. So then I looked up where the word flavor came from, and it come from a word meaning from Latin flatus, and another one fator meaning stench. So it really is like the fragrance aroma. That's where flavor comes from. So like you canceling out the flavor so they don't hit all your senses, like you say, and get past that government. That's like, no, I gotta do something, or I can't eat this much.
That's the tether. That's the detachment. Listen, I tried different ways. Boom. Every time I switch the tactic, that shit still, the taste buds adapted.
Still have the taste, right?
Yeah, listen, because then when I started doing the lemon tech, it was like, oh, this is way better than the lemon tech work. Then after doing it like 2 or 3 times, I don't even, the lemons taste like psilocybin almost. Like, ugh. Like, it's like, no.
That's how I felt.
It's the body. It's the ego, basically, I guess, because I would call you animalistic body. The shit that throws you out of a window in a fire without you making a decision. That's that.
I'm gonna try that covering my nose thing, because I would always do that. That's crazy.
And it makes me think about the
basic
nighttime too. Like what the sun is doing to us, or what we made the sun do to us, and what we made the moon do to us. Like how easier it is to do it at nighttime. And sometimes in the middle of the day, I'll be like eager to go. But I just know at the daytime, my body, like something, the thing about me that I don't want to get in the way is like, it's really not there that much at night.
How about this? Check this out, Ty. Right, just on the deep end, real quick. Isn't it strange how? I believe that the Egyptians had electricity and everything, but let's say they didn't, right? Let's say the pyramid, dog, is blackness. You can't take fire that deep in there because it'll snuff out. You can't use mirrors to reflect light deep enough.
I used to think that bull crap.
But imagine though, taking a high dose and walking into the blackness of the fucking tunnels and being able to see in the blackness because of the psychedelics unlock sight in the dark.
And they do, bro.
And whether it's what you're seeing is real or not, the walls of the tunnels and the places that you're at, you're still in a place, in a 3-dimensional space. And you're walking through this place. You could be walking through a jungle. You could be walking through fucking another planet or whatever. But you will be able to see with psychic in the blackness something and keep going and going and going. What the fuck would that shit would be crazy.
That is so, bro. It's just, you ever see Spirited Away? Spirit thing? Yeah, they went in a tunnel and went in a whole nother world, and then they came back out and was like it didn't happen, or she remembered it happened.
You seen the one about the red dolphin?
No.
What?
Red Dolphin anime? Oh.
No, yeah, it's not called Red Dolphin, but
I just typed in red anime.
The little girl turns into...
Oh, it's called Big Fish in Bulgaria.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it looked like something I will watch. I gotta see.
That shit is on another level. Trippy. They come from another dimension.
Wait, what is it?
Big Fish in Begonia. I put
Big
the
Fish
link
in
on the
Look
Discord.
that up. Oh, okay.
Hey, Ozo,
Yo,
you can give me
fam,
another
yo.
show to watch?
Oh, the fucking you already watched SEE?
SEE? Nah, I finished Undone in like one night.
Yeah, that shit was like food, right? Brain food.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so I need another show. So you said SEE?
Yep. It's got
Oh,
Jason
what?
Momoa. And,
Hulu, Netflix, Amazon?
it's on Amazon.
Perfect,
But I
perfect.
watched
Alright,
it.
cool.
That shit is another one that'll be like, what? That shit is dope.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck with that shit. And the funny thing, I had Amazon all this time because I got regular Amazon Prime and I didn't know I could watch videos and shit.
I
until
said
he
the
told
same
me
thing, bro.
about this shit. It's like shit. Been paying freaking for this shit all this time, and the first thing I watch off of it is Undone after like paying for this shit for
Don't
3
you get
years.
shows with Amazon Prime?
Yeah, but I didn't know. I'm just finding out. I thought it was a whole different subscription and shit. I didn't know it was like the Prime, and these niggas is telling me I got access to books and movies too. Like, oh shit.
That Big Fish in Begonia, like, they come from another dimension. They come from the spirit. They're spirits. They're like people, though.
That's where the fish come from?
No, there's like a whole society of spirit people. I guess when we die, we go to the spirit realm,
Right.
or some shit like that, and that's where we go and we reside there. And fucking,
That's what they talk
something
about,
like
that anime.
Yeah, dog, and it's like to go back to Earth though is a different dimension. Is the just the way you know what it reminded me of. The math of it reminded me of the tree of life. The name of it is Yigs fucking whatever the fuck that shit is. Yggdrasil is a big ass tree that in the tree the top of it is Asgard, the middle of it is Midgard, and the fucking the underworld is underneath it and all that shit. And it reminded me that the dimensions are connected through the fucking Rainbow Bridge. And fucking and that Rainbow Bridge shit is like a portal, and the fucking where they were at was like a ceremonial portal that would open, and it was like some crazy shit because the ocean is vast.
And like it opens to another world.
Yeah, it reminded me of like the fucking
Like you heard of Agartha?
Bermuda Triangle, huh? Agartha?
Yeah, Agartha.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with the tree type?
It might have to do with the underworld that's underneath.
That's what I was
the
thinking too.
It's just a setup, like a maze that's used in different movie setups. Like like right now, you guys are watching another show that if you ain't watching it, dog, like it's like the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I've been watching.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into it.
That's just like a
It's
western,
really
though.
good.
Like
Yeah,
the Star
that's like a
Wars
Western.
Western.
Yeah, it's a future, but it's a western though. You know what I'm saying? The way he is, he's like an old. His way, the Mandalorian is going into depth. Yeah, it's going into depth of the Mandalorian ways. Like they got code. The Mandalorian. That's basically what it's showing. And the Mandalorian code is like a cowboy dog. Like you know what I'm saying? Like a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Like you got morals and shit.
Like an outlaw.
Yeah, but he got morals. He's dope. It's like a bounty hunter. Now he's an outlaw now for sure. Yeah, that's just dope. They're like a race that you don't have to be part of that race. Like it could be an alien that's a Mandalorian. Like the Mandalorian is a belief system. It's like a fucking religion or some shit. It's like once you put that helmet on, you can never take it back off in front of anybody. Like, and they put it on when they're little kids, like when they're little, like 6, 7 years old, and they go into training, and nobody could ever see their face.
No, I was just looking at some chocolate I got. Put some mushies in there.
The only one is like people know about that they think is a Mandalorian is Boba Fett, but Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian.
He's not?
He's a clone. Nah, he's not a Mandalorian. That's why you see Boba Fett's face all the time. He has he has Mandalorian armor, and he has a Mandalorian gear. Yeah, Jango Fett and Bubba. But both of them are not Mandalorians. They have the suit.
That's why they died so fast.
Yeah, they died so quick.
That's why they died so fast. They wasn't about it for real.
I think it's Django gets eaten by that fucking space worm.
Yeah, in the desert.
Django is the original one, right? Django and Baba's his son. Baba's his son, but Baba's really him still.
Yeah,
because
clone.
Django took him from the clone. When they was making the clones, they was making a hell of a lot of clones, and they were all of Baba and fucking Django, right? And no, Baba. They were all of Baba Fett and fucking I don't know. I get confused with who's first. But anyways, whoever they were making all the clones out of, one of the clones grew faster than the rest of them, and they was like he wasn't. They didn't want him, so because he was growing at a normal, like a human speed, and the clones are supposed to grow super fast to be quick. Army grown already, and he was growing at the normal human speed, and Baba was like, "I'm gonna take him. Let me get him," and he took him, and fucking so he raised him as his own son, but it's really he's raising himself.
Imagine that. I never thought of that like that growing up. That he was raising himself. And they try to play it off in like the esoteric way in the movie, like just like, oh, I got a son and he's a bounty hunter too. Like, no, that was you, nigga. Nigga had the same concepts, the same genes going on,
same mannerisms and everything. He didn't even have to fake it. It was him. You know what I'm saying? They got the same everything.
How could that's a good thing to trust?
More of an edge though, because I think it was Django who came next, because Django was the most famous one. You know what I'm saying? Django Fett.
It is. If you get to talk to yourself growing up while still alive, and be like, hey, I know how you think.
All the tricks early.
Don't do this. You're going to feel like this. I know. I'm you. That had me think of that Gemini movie with Will Smith. That movie is like that. His somebody cloned him.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that.
It's nice. The graphics is nice. It's a good action movie.
So isn't it like an alternate version of it? Or something like that?
Yeah, the company cloned him without telling him, and he was this top assassin. So now they sent the clone to come kill him, but they both just as good. So yeah, so they going at it.
There's another movie like that, bro. It's pretty great. I forgot the name.
Did it have Tom Cruise?
Believe it did, but I can't remember.
I remember that movie with Tom Cruise, Oblivion. You ever see that? The movie Oblivion with Tom Cruise?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know he was a clone, and he thought he was doing his job, and then he saw it was another one once he wasn't doing his job.
I think that's the movie I'm talking about.
Edge of Tomorrow's a good one too with Tom.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's one of my favorite movies right there, man. Edge of Tomorrow, because I was surprised. I didn't think it was going to be that ill. I was like,
yeah, that shit is sick.
Live, Die, Repeat. That was like fucking another video game right there. Playing that, watching that movie was a fucking video game. Fucking Call of Duty. Went out there, get smacked up, die, come back, run out there again, learn again. Which is crazy. You know, when you reach a checkpoint in the game, you know what happens when to die. Like, this was gonna do switch up his. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like certain shit.
No,
that's the same thing in that. They knew the checkpoints of what happened because they already lived it. Oh.
That's what's happening with me and this DMT, yo, and like taking more mushroom trips like more frequently instead of spreading them out like I was for some guy, well, whatever reason I was coming up with. It's like I'm seeing now, I'm able to hold on to say, oh wow, yes, I did this before. So like I would walk past like something simple. I would walk past something on the floor and I wouldn't pick it up, but I'd be like, I see myself feeling the type of way about this later, but not just feeling, I see myself reacting to this later. I say, let me switch this and pick this up now. And like I'm doing a lot of things now and it feel like I wasn't doing it before, and like I finally got it this time. Like I like at least this time, at least for this, like in those moments, like, oh, I got it this time. I'm making this decision. Like I kept saying I gotta get out the house so I don't feel like I was stuck in, because it feel like I already make the decision not to go outside before. Like, not just in last week, but like in this day somewhere in another reality. And then I felt the pressure going on, like, and the pressure for me is weird for I guess compared to other folks, because for me it feel like a situation is about to happen that I don't really wish to happen, that I know can happen and I can get through it. But it's like the thing to me that wishes is like it's getting so much stronger. Like, just to sum it up, it's like getting a little stronger, and it's like, all right, go outside. And that's the video game. That's like the video game thing. Like, I passed that part before. I ain't get trapped in the same loop. It's
Checkpoints.
Cool. Yeah. Like, checkpoints are real. Checkpoints are real. Like, when they was designing these, they was
Yo,
just
listen, man, finding
replicating
Easter eggs alone, it makes me fucking feel like shit's crazy, man. Why is there Easter eggs in this reality?
I gotta show you an Easter egg, bro. It was
Like
fucking
in
sick.
real life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro,
like,
in
dude,
this
like
life.
the fucking mushrooms, dog.
Bro, I've seen
that
so many.
shit. And it's an Easter egg, and it unlocks and shows you the code.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Like, that's fucking crazy. And then there's other things, too, like between mountain ranges and places where
Bro, you can find
the
Easter
natives,
eggs like in day-to-day life.
the natives talk about places between mountain ranges and shit like that, and valleys and certain places that the energies are wild, and that there's portals and shit that lead to other dimensions and shit. Those are Easter eggs there, too. Shit like that.
You just gotta
In
be
this dimension, there's a lot of fucking Easter eggs.
aware of
That's
it.
And you gotta really know about the game to find it. Or you come across it without no contents, and you be like, oh gosh, I'm crazy for the rest of my life.
Man, you know how stupid I sound telling people in the normal fucking that there's like portals like that. I heard a story from this Indian dude was saying that, and I hate saying Indian. I would rather say his tribe or whatever he was, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking he was hunting, and he kept following. There was no animals around. It was snow or some shit, and he kept following the trail. There was a big trail that he followed, and it led to a valley or some shit, and the trail disappeared in the middle. Like, there was no hooves. Like, the hooves would stop. Like, all the animal tracks would end right there, and it wouldn't go further than that. And he felt that he wasn't going to go that way because of that. Like, he just turned around. He felt it, and he didn't. So what he did was he looked around. He observed the area, and he found the ridge where he could watch and see the animals without disturbing them when they do cut through there, because it was it was a trail. And fucking so he just watched, and he seen fucking deer or some shit, moose or caribou, or forgot what it was, and he watched it go through there and vanish between the fucking points and fucking just disappear into another dimension, dog. And that fucking when he went back and told the elders about this shit, that I guess it was something about that a lot of things have come in and out from places like that are spirits and shit like that they call, and weird things, dog. There's a lot of things that we don't know, man, and I'm just saying it's like Easter egg bullshit. Like, even in Grand Theft Auto, you eat something, you turn into a Sasquatch. You eat peyote.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking of GTA the whole time you was talking, how they got the Easter eggs, and you just gotta be
That
willing
shit
to
was
do
making
stuff.
me laugh, bro.
Remember Ready Player One?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Wow. She's gonna get fucking crazy with the VR PlayStation 5, dog.
It's already like that, bro.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna get even crazier. PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation
So much
5.
crazier. All this is just
it's
money.
Right now,
3 times. The PlayStation 5 is actually
the PS5, PC, all that shit.
that shit is actually the PlayStation 8, because
Yeah.
it's 3 times stronger than anything else. So
Now they got people that are doing like that full body suit VR.
I
Like
know.
on PC or whatever, and like that
the
shit's
same
crazy,
thing
bro.
from Ready Player One. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
but and if you take it further back, like this shit's already they've been doing this for a long time. Like they had early prototypes of VR. My bad, I cut off. Like in the 50s, 60s and shit.
Yeah, like, that's why they make movies like Longhorn Man that I was talking about earlier. That they had the whole VR concept on deck right there in that movie.
And then,
But,
yeah, bro.
yeah.
Like you see shows like Simpsons and shit. They talk about, they show you, like basically.
Remember when they became 3D? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they knew they were 3D.
There's an episode where they're actually VR.
Yeah.
I had to see it because I've seen just about every one.
Yeah, I didn't see. But that sounds dope. I know how they be getting down. They be dropping Easter eggs in the Simpsons.
Bro, there's so many Simpsons episodes. Like there's thousands, bro. So it's hard to keep track of all.
Yeah, it was one episode that on the recent season, Marge was they wanted a robot to take care of the house. So they took some of Marge's DNA and put it inside of a robot kind of machine. It was kind of like Black Mirror, but an actual Marge existed inside of there. Like it had her body and stuff, and she was pressing buttons on the robot in order to move it. So it had all her memories, all her cookbooks, as they were saying. So then Marge started getting jealous of it. And the other thing at first had to realize that it was real and that it existed just inside of there to do that. And when it would disobey, Homer would turn the capsule so that it would just be 5 seconds to him, but 2 years would pass in her time. And then when he stopped, he said, "All right, you ready to do what you supposed to be doing?"
Wow. So she could get over it, like 2 years later?
Yep.
Wow.
Fast forward in time.
Yeah.
And then it was
Like that
she
movie.
escaped through the internet, and then she started existing outside of the capsule finally, because she didn't want to live there no more, because Marge was getting too jealous. The actual real Marge. I was like, yo, those the feelings. Robots gonna be here. People gonna be like, yo, that's what I thought. That was my memory. That's what makes me special. And the robot gonna do it 50 times better.
Dude, this is the crazy shit about anime, man. We own the two-dimensional world. We're the gods of it. Any one of us could grab a pencil and unlock the two-dimensional world, dog. Make a little stick figure, put a portal room, make them walk through it, show what's happening on the other side. You can do whatever the fuck you want where it's at. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, bro.
Oh, and the fact that that's
and the whole
really
time
happening.
the stick figure thinks he's thinking that shit himself. Like he made that decision to go through that portal.
Oh man, that's wild. That's dope. And then we'll be like, imagine that. But all you gotta do is watch it. Like you already created it, and you created that in that moment for you to imagine here, and you just don't know you created that for you to watch it because you think it just happened out of nowhere.
That's a message.
That's the mushies. I should put that on the shirt. The message, the message is the mushies. The mushies is the message. Let me write that down.
But just put GOT above the mushroom. That's it.
Hey, let's do it. I'm just thinking about catchphrases too. I'm glad I don't get caught up in no catchphrases and no
dudes,
people.
I keep laughing because these dudes, like every time I think about it for a second, like Piano and True are on an ayahuasca session right now.
They going.
They are on an ayahuasca mission. Oh.
And that's Piano Key first time doing high dose, right?
8 hours.
Oh yeah, I think she'll be coming down then. Yeah, they're coming down because Piano Key did type in. He said, "Yo, what up?" You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
They should be coming down. But yo, I don't be getting notifications from your shit, man. I tapped out, tapped back in, like unsubscribe, subscribe back again. Like that shit don't be.
Dang. I'm trying to upload every day. That is acting janky.
You gotta click the bell, bro.
I do.
It's weird.
Man, cause True should be coming through like bing, bing, bing. I had to do that shit with King House too, cause it stopped fucking popping. Yeah, you should usually be like bing, bing, and pop right up. It's like I just find it when I go into YouTube. It's like, oh, you put a new video like.
That's wild. Yo, Leviathan popped in on the chat, but we said it. Yeah, we saw. I didn't see. He asked, did we see the show C? He said he saw 2 episodes. No, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it today or tomorrow.
It's not over yet either. I don't know if it's the first season is over because I watched all the episodes. I don't know if they're gonna keep dropping them. Some seasons are like more than 8. I watched all 8. It's dope. Make a motherfucker think though too. There's a lot of shit out there. It makes me think, man. Them type of shows like that, it's like once you watch them, dog, it's like it kind of like releases. It just like makes you like expands your mind, dog. I mean, to me, it does because fucking with psychedelics, and then when I see shit like that, it just expands my mind further, dog. Like makes me think about stuff, dog. Like me just watching stuff like that, thinking about it, gets it out the fucking way. So when I trip, I don't gotta think about nothing. It's automatic.
That's how it was. That's exactly like how it was and is. I don't know why I'm saying was. I was thinking about the Undone because I was watching it on shrooms and then it was like it was answering all my backheaded questions. So when it was over, I was still tripping. So I was just cool, but I was still tripping. Like I ain't had no kind of anxiety about it. It's like I put the show there to remind myself. And I put on this story of the whole production crew in Hollywood and stuff, so it can seem like this big message, so it can come across me in the most exciting way. Like not just kicking your foot or finding a rock or something. It's like a whole presentation to remind you. Like, oh yeah. You just gotta be in tune enough to see it for real. And there's no doubt in my mind to go backwards. Like that's why I was saying I'm glad I'm getting catchphrases and seeing all them catchphrases and getting them out. Like that people use to keep themselves comfortable, and I'm seeing that's what they use to just keep themselves comfortable here. Like not on the inside, the stuff I'm dealing with. They doing that to keep their outside all comfortable, and I'm like, man, I'm cool with that. Anything can happen. I know I'm gonna just work through it. That's not what I'm on. And I was getting confused because I really was thinking that a lot of people knew what they was talking about or knew what they was doing. And I'm not saying I know exactly what I'm doing or talk about, but it feels a lot better. I'm getting like results that I was only seeing on TV, like how fast stuff happened. It's like you can go through a whole fantasy, like the whole Star Wars trilogy in one mushroom trip.
Yes.
Meet your dad, Darth Vader, all that stuff, all them changes, all that happened in like one good trip. Gotta be a good trip, or else things will be happening. You'll be stuck in still part 1 of the movie, and then wondering why the third happening at the same time.
Hey, that for ACO, man, or whatever, that shit is great. I mean, it's one thing though, like learning how to fucking cultivate, how to grow your own edible oysters and all that other shit, and psychedelics, whatever the fuck kind of shrooms, all of them, dog. Like it's worth learning that skill to take with you wherever you go, to whatever country you at, wherever the fuck for your life, you'll have shrooms. And fucking, but that 4-ACMO shit, dog, sounds like a dope ass shortcut.
Literally a shortcut.
A shortcut, dog, to just fucking stop trying to dip your toe to get an experience and be not satisfied with it because it didn't.
You don't really need the ayahuasca.
Yeah, nah, it's the same place.
It's just synthetic psilocin.
Yeah. Bro.
I'm telling you, I was going. I didn't have no scale or nothing, but I just measured it to like the match head, like how they were saying to do. And that was a lot, but it was because how you were saying too, getting past the government of your body, it wasn't like what I was placing my imagination on it to be at that dose. It was like, this is just what it is, and you're experiencing it, and it's just cool. Cause then you start seeing if you can how you really surf, instead of saying, all right, now I can go back to the shore real quick. Like, no, you surfing.
I'm glad you tried it. I'm glad you and True tried it because I don't know if I would have tried it.
Like hearing that it was a research chemical.
Yeah, no, not only that, but because usually I don't trust stuff from China to living over here. China's like looked down upon.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys talked about your trip.
At least I see you guys looking great. Thank you.
True just popped in the chat, so we know he cool.
And it's the loophole too, because it's illegal. It's analog, and if that shit works like the natural thing, dog, and it gives you and unlocks nature and everything, like
legal. It should be legal to bring over here. I don't know. I don't know.
If it's legal in America, it's legal in another country. America would be the asshole. Trying to ban it.
You got it for free?
I think so.
Yeah, they seen his show. They seen one of his. Yo, True.
Hey, you know how they say 5 grams silent darkness? For ACO, you become the darkness.
How you feeling, man?
Man, I feel good.
Hey, what they told you? They reached out to you because they seen one of your videos, and then they sent you the 4 ACMO.
Yeah, basically. He said everybody he reached out to would nobody respond to it. I was the first one that did.
That's dope.
I was like, oh my God, bro. He said he was up and he said he took too much. He said he don't know where the fuck he been, but he been everywhere.
Oh. Everywhere.
I told you that's the same sound I was making when I was fucking puking up because I had ate some shit and I had to throw it all out. And then all the rest of the night, my whole trip.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. like I was like right now, like when I was on, bro, I was going into the darkness. Like I created that shit.
I love it.
It's something.
I'm the one that be there. You be looking at me crazy. I walk right into the basements and shit with nothing straight there. Everybody be looking at me like I'm crazy. I be like, man, what you fucking standing up there for, man? I just go straight down into the blackness. I don't give a fuck. I feel comfortable in the black.
Yeah, it's like you is able to create more, like all them metaphors and stuff. It's like a blank canvas. And it seemed like the blackness too was actually a substance at some point.
You get rewarded for facing that.
Mm-hmm.
You get rewarded for facing that.
Man, what
blackness.
it's like is I cannot turn this shit off.
How many hours it's been? Like, True feels like it's been a few years, but
bro, that sounds like a long ass acid to me. I'm telling you, bro, 12 hours.
Yeah, that's it. Oh man, he's really high.
Yeah, that stomach thing ain't no joke. That's what kept getting me away from mushrooms, and then I had to really learn that fasting is like that's part of the game. Once the stomach start talking to you, once that gut, you feel like your gut talking to you, like you messed up. You fucked up.
Stop the ride.
Yo, whoever said that shit was too funny. I almost died over here, yo.
Yeah, you get a megaphone.
Stop the ride. Stop the ride.
And it's wild, man. I be wondering.
You ever seen that dog? I like the roller coaster going by my path, and when it comes by, boom, stop the ride. Fucking dude, don't stop shit. Just fucking they keep going.
Oh, I did that before on the boat that go back and forth and it go higher and higher each time, and the person was just looking at me.
Just kept going. Stupid. Yeah.
I hate that boat with a passion. Worst niggas be like, yo, let's go sit in the back. That's the funnest part. Like, no, nigga.
Yeah, you be floating on the chair. Yeah, so that's the time you floating.
That's when you don't feel like it's gonna pop out your fucking throat, son. In the back of the boat.
Yeah. Yo, from the top, almost to the bottom, you floating. Almost out the sea.
Because the back is supposed to be like the highest point. So you gonna get like the fucking that ride in the back, yo.
Yeah, you on for sure when you on that boat.
And that's just hilarious.
Mm.
I be like, yo, listen, I find it more, my fear, right, when I was younger, I don't know what fear really is, it just makes me laugh, but I found it funnier to ignore my body, like, trying to clench and keep my arms in the air and looking at the motherfucker next to me and laugh my ass off of the fear of the motherfucker next to me, dog. Like, it would make me just laugh, dog. And it would take away my wanting, like, the body wanting to jerk back to the fucking handlebar. Like, I just keep them up, like, fuck it, and I just laugh. Right? That shit is like your body tries to take over. It's like a struggle between your body and your mind.
Yeah.
To fucking, like...
I didn't stop screaming on stuff or clenching until after mushrooms. And the last time the circus was here, it was my girlfriend. She was like that. She was that person holding on, and the person was laughing. I was like, yeah, I remember this. And that's why I was comparing it to the psychedelic trip. It's like that's a roller coaster. The DMT and they was whatever we call them. They was laughing at me because it was my second time trying. It was like I was on a roller coaster holding on, and I was like, I'm here though. I'm here. I'm holding on. They was just laughing at me.
It made me think about when True uploaded that video with him and his son, and his son's face looks like scared of the motherfucker. And True was laughing. It sounded like he got passed out from fear on the damn roller coaster. And then there was a point where True got shook too because he thought he almost came out.
I remember.
Oh my god! I died laughing. That shit dumb.
He did used to go out all the time, well, more and more.
Roller coasters are fun. That's why, we like that shit. As people, we like getting scared. When I was a kid, dog, I used to love going by blocks on my bike when I was married little in Jersey, where they had dogs that would chase my bike and try to bite us and fuck us up. And fucking, that was the best place to ride the bike. You know what I'm saying? Dog almost tear one of us back. All you had to do was be faster than your boy. That's all you had to do.
Just be faster than the dog.
Hey, True inside the chat on the Psy Tai thing. He said he passed out. Yeah.
His son did pass out. You know, you can see it in the video. Like he's like, ah, then he gets quiet. Slump.
You ever see those?
Back up. Slump. He passed out like 2 times.
And that's what made it worth it. It's like when you see somebody else go through that and you wasn't completely scared, you like, man, I wish I would have went that hard. Like you see the person drinking, enjoying themselves more, and like, oh, you're gonna be sick tomorrow, but they enjoyed it. They was enjoying that night more than you was. Like that's what I like. Like I'm really seeing where I was real iffy about a lot of things, and now it's all hands on deck, hands and feet. Hands and feet.
That's funny how the human psyche is so much to get fear put into it. We want to see movies that are fear based. We want to see like something that's gonna make us get scared. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, I mean, that's not all we want. We want all the emotions. It's like emotions are like a drug. Like they release an endorphin. Like even endorphin, it's like a drug release. Like when you go watch a movie that's sad, it releases like the sad endorphins. When you watch a movie that's like a love movie, your heart swells up and it makes you feel love and shit. And when you watch fucking, like it's all placebo emotional baggage that gets pressed onto you by these things, dog. And it's like we like that shit. It's fucking crazy. And then when we fuck with psychedelics, it's like it's totally different. It's like a whole movie, but it's like you actually live that shit, man. And then just like school, movies, life, everything, death wrapped up into a fucking trip. Like it doesn't make sense, dog, but it does, like Trudy saying, because it's like you're learning and you're not learning because it doesn't make sense, but you're still learning. You're learning shit that don't make sense. It's fucking
oh god, yeah, that's how it be coming off, like to at first and like during your beginning journeys. And what's going on, Brad? Hey, That is how it is. Like, that's why I be laughing at movies that be making people start off at the psychiatric ward. Like that Return to the Wizard of Oz. The second one, she kept talking about all her journeys over there and the Wicked Witch and the Scarecrow and her friends and everything. But it didn't mean nothing to anybody around, even though she was saying that their counterparts or another version of themselves was over there playing alongside with her. It's like when you're not attached, don't have that sensitivity to you. It's just all about what you did then, and like what that trip meant to you. Because I spent a lot of time too, like having a trip, and then I will go and compare it to somebody that's not tripping, like compare it to their thought process. And be like, man, yeah, well, since you're saying that's the truth. That's the truth compared to how I was just looking at it. It's like, yo, it's both, but it's both at the same time. Like in the higher sense, like both people are telling the truth at the same time. So that's what make it fun and like wow, I'm really in two worlds that existing in like even more than two worlds. But you know how it is. At the level I'm at right now, I'm seeing like 2, 3 at most at the same time. Imagine people just sitting there and they just out. They just like zoning out. They seeing 5 play. They like the architect in the Matrix, just seeing a bunch of screens play before them. And that's happening too. People don't have stuff under control, I guess, or they story making it seem like they don't have not just life under control, but they at the part in their story where reality is not under control. The different realities, and they start suffer from schizophrenia. I guess that's what they would term it. Oh wow, Luanda says she watching The Wizard of Oz right now. It's a good show. It's a lot of good show. That's where King Gods come from. He that little wizard. Pulling the strings. Well, and I like the psychedelics too. I'm gonna have to call Blaxican back. And I like the psychedelics too, cause how much they really remind you of what's going on. Cause all of these cool movies that's like classics, they call classics. It's like they have the most they have the most mushroomy message in there. The most psychedelic, like based off of my psychedelic experiences, when I'm seeing it's like those are the most, but they present it in a way. I don't know. I don't even know which way they present it in the way that I guess the company presents them, without trying to put too much more specific. It's just cool, cause like they knew, it's like the people behind the scenes knew what they was talking about, or just knew what they was doing. Cause that's what I was meaning. The Wizard of Oz was one of my grandma's favorite movies, my nana's favorite movies, and I'm like, and she's a real sensitive person. But she's real into the church as well. So when she watched it and we watch it growing up, she will say things like, "Oh, I like this Wizard of Oz movies, but I don't really like the witches in there. I don't like that they threw that in there." So what she was getting out of it was the character, the strength, and all of that stuff. And it's like like what the Lion was looking for, and the Tin Man and stuff. And then it's like when you start dealing with psychedelics and you keep pushing yourself. You see that realm that she talking about experiencing, and then you see the whole other realm and why the Munchkins are there in the first place, and why they dealing with witches, and why it's a green emerald road, and why she got there in the first place, and that it was a dream and not a dream, and like the whole movie just makes sense as opposed to seeing it through just a window, like just looking out the window of religion, or just out of where your little self was in all of his experiences gathered together looking out. It's like you see the totality of it. And I used to think that I was seeing things if the more I'm able to remember myself more, the more I can talk better. But it's like I remember always picking up on what the director was saying or was trying to put in there. And I used to like to watch director cuts of movies and shows when they came out to see what the director was saying and the commentary. I used to watch the director commentary on the movies on DVDs and stuff like that. And that was always an extra feature. And I think those extra features, like when they say when you really like a movie, you want to see how it was made, behind the scenes and the green screens and what the director thought when he was doing this. It will a lot of time match up. And like I'm even thinking now, my mind jumping around. When I was in school was easy for me, like in English and stuff, because when I would write, I would say that I was just copying the narrator's voice in my head. That I would say sounded like an old white guy from like a nature documentary, like David Attenborough, whatever his name is. I ain't know none of the names back then. But I was just literally writing down that way he was saying, and it would come out to me as good. Like if I wanted to write good, that's the voice I listened to. And it was like that voice when I was reading the book is the character that was able to piece together things that I felt that I wasn't really able to. When I was younger though, it was all kind of the same thing. It wasn't until I got disconnected from it growing up and stopped doing it or something, or I was just feeling different. I was playing another role. I was believing in my role and my character and saying, well, all these bad things are happening and I guess it is real. I guess this reality is real and this reality fucking sucks. So so I guess that's when I started losing that connection. And my connection was always like, I feel disconnected. And I guess a lot of people feel like that. But it's like when you, because not everybody feel that connection in the same way. Because then like on a lower scale, people just say, man, I used to feel like that when I was a child. Or I used to feel like that when I was younger, but life changed. I got a kid now or work. Or they just say things change. Or they say I'm making money now. I don't have time to do that stuff right now. So it comes in different ways, and the mushrooms just be showing me that a lot of us really don't know how much we lost. But that's not really a care for me or matter for me. I don't know, that sounds selfish, but for me, because it is what it is. But for a lot of people, gotta get past that.
I'm glad that it's that simple. I'm glad that it's so simple that if we had the information and the knowledge that you could just walk around and have that trip. Like, no matter what continent you're on, they're there. And then fucking, you just have to know which ones live in your area. And no matter what continent you're in, you will be able to tap into the internet. Like, they're like a natural Earth internet that's always been here. Like, that's just crazy, dog. They're like a fucking global consciousness or some shit. Or intergalactic, even, consciousness, like Kalindi said. Like, that's just got, because it doesn't just, it's not like you take mushrooms and you see the life of deer and grass and trees and the normal, stupid animals that we think that allegedly throughout history have been here and how they live. We don't just see that bullshit like that. We fucking see whatever your belief system is, no matter what the fuck you subscribe to. If you don't watch non-fiction, you only fiction, or like that shit will show you some intergalactic, some fucking some spaceship fucking blueprint, fucking other fucking dimensions, other fucking lifetimes. The list goes on and on and on, dog. This shit is fucking mind blowing. That it just always been like, that's just crazy, dog. No need for construction for programming it or adding a new fucking, you know what I'm saying, an updated version. Shit updates on its own.
That really does update too.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. Like it's current. Like the people that was taking mushrooms back then, they still taking mushrooms. Well, most of the real, they still taking mushrooms now. They like, it's changing. We gotta keep going with it. It's like how people say it ain't the same weed. Like it ain't the same mushrooms, but it is. But it's not. They growing too. That was their granddad.
Yo, listen to this, right? Imagine like our technology. Like, find somebody who's a brilliant fucking whatever, chemist or fucking I mean, a neurobiologist or a fucking chemist or a fucking or whatever the fuck they are. Give them a high dose of psychedelics, and they will fucking go into their shit and see things in a different way that'll unlock fucking potential that they didn't know was there. Now, imagine a society that's a class 2 civilization. We're not even a class 1. We're 0. Imagine a class 2, someone that they're so advanced that it's magic to us, that they pull dimension hopping shit based upon their fucking gear or whatever, their clothing, whatever the fuck they thought, whatever. Imagine them taking a dose of the mushrooms, and that shit's automatically updated for them to give them something more profound for them than they could even handle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that shit would matter how intelligent you are. It will just adapt to your brain and show you some profound fucking shit, dog, that'll mind blow you. Like, no matter how civilized you are, it'll just like, whoa, there's more. So these people making these pyramids and shit, whoever it was, even it probably wasn't even the Egyptians, it was probably before them. And whoever it was that did it, their minds will have to be blown because they got the depictions of mushrooms and shit on their walls and shit, dog. Like, that's just got to be mind blowing, dog. Like, I don't know what this shit is capable of doing to different species or different intelligences and shit like that, but it like I think it does, like, and it's like it doesn't even give a fuck about your intelligence level. It shows you the most intelligent intergalactic shit, and you better look and fucking, and it's gonna like give you answers too that you wouldn't even think of on your own, dog. Like, why? Like, what? And some people just it sounds like you're arguing to yourself. Like, what do you mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? This shit don't make no sense. And the whole time, it's just unfolding. Like, that shit is fucking, yo, it's just mind-boggling, dog. And it's no wonder that it's taken over, that they're making it legal everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's no hiding this shit, dog. It's too profound, bro. It's too profound. It's on the level of watching a baby being born out of a pussy, dog. Like, it's like, wow, dog, a human just detached, like a fucking, like a single cell organism becoming two.
Like Piano Key said, he alive.
That's what's up, bro.
Good.
Touchdown.
But no, that's right about it. That's right on point. Cause the way, like, you can't, like you saying, a scientist or somebody taking it, or somebody that has a skill about them that goes about to then create something in this world. When you had these mushrooms in your hand, you turn into, you witness things. You witness the majesty of, like, beyondness. Like, it really is like a majesty, like a royalness, or something that's like so complex and always been there through forever. Like, it's forever. And then the way that it shows us that it's us, is why I think that people is why it's starting to spread. Is because it's a lot of people that's been trying to take the reins of like what's cool, or not what's cool, but how to do things and how to keep things in check, or how things are supposed to be. And like, now that a lot of the characters in this world is taking the mushrooms, is like a lot of more remixing that can be going on, as well as a lot of things that was already learned to be adapted into this situation without it being forgotten, or like saying, well, this piece don't fit, so we're going to leave it for another time. It's like, well, this piece goes right there. We just never saw it like that. We was looking at it in 2 dimensions, but now that I'm this so-called, let's say, fifth dimensional being, I can see what piece in time was missing in the 4th dimension, and oh, it was right there.
Yeah.
And just keep it going.
You ever hear the 100th monkey effect?
Oh, about writing the stories? One of
just about any kind of, it's like a threshold. So in Japan, I believe that scientists started studying these monkeys on the different islands, and then they figured out that they were dying from something that they could just wash off their food, and then they'd they'd have a better chance of survival. So the scientists started teaching the monkeys to start washing their food before they ate it. And on these islands, monkeys can't build boats and go talk to each other. Once a threshold of 100, the ratio is about 100 to 1. So once 100 monkeys were taught to wash their food before they ate it, all the monkeys on all the islands started doing it.
Monkey see, monkey do. That's who we are. Once something catch wind, it's a wave.
And the funny thing is that none of the other ones even seen it. They just knew it.
Uh-huh. We're not as much of an individual as we think.
I've seen that in my own life. Like, I don't know, nobody taught me to, it might be small, but like breaking down a refry cigarette to roll, like, you get like 6 or 7 of them, you can make your own cigarette. Like, I just thought of that and started doing it.
Yeah.
Like, certain things like that are probably just inherent in us, the best way to do something.
It really
and
is.
Once a certain amount of us seem like, hey, this is the way to fucking do it, then it's just going to be like natural, I think. Like sucking a titty or something.
Yeah, that's very natural. Well, you're right about that. I used to, and it goes so deep, like the way that math equations are formed. I know what these professors and other people are going through. I used to go through that in school. I used to come up with formulas to help me go through the problem a lot easier than what the teacher was showing me. And that's what made it easy for me. And then 2 weeks later, I would find that we would start learning that shortcut. It was in the book. And I'd be like, yeah, I was already doing that. And then it's this whole theorem named to it of this scientist, and they show the way he was doing. I was like, I was on to that. That was just making it easier for me. I didn't know it was something special. And like, if you can, like, the way, that's why with any skill I'm saying, if you just develop it, like even with artwork or anything, when we say, man, how the hell did they do that? Or like how in the OA, the doctor was going, I forget his name now, but the doctor was going around and he was saying, he was trying to find people with certain talents that seemed out of this world. Like how the lady was playing the violin. It was like, it was a gift. It seemed like she's translating something definitely that's outside of herself. Like them skills, I think that it become more than a skill. That's what it is. It's a lifestyle. It's like your whole, it's a life. You realize what life is, and you style yourself to it. Some mumbo jumbo.
You ain't ready. What's up with them damn Allenite, dog? Them shits look so good, man.
And they lovely. That's what I had during that trip 2 days ago. So I was watching Undone. I just had about a gram of it. That was cool.
Man, that's a beautiful thing to be outside and find a spot like that where they just go with you like that.
And those was the ones that got me on this journey. Like, I didn't...
Fam, you could just take those wood chips and just put them so... Like, it's just crazy. Like, you could just get the spore print. The spore print or whatever of the Allenite.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm gonna get those soon, too. Yeah, and you could just colonize some grain and then, the same way that shit was, you know what it was? I seen everything, dog. When you was digging through those plants... Those green plants that are covering the fucking wood chips.
Yeah.
They're making a microclimate in there. Underneath those leaves and all that shit is all moist and dewy and all that shit under there. Like the shade creates a fucking microclimate and that shit. That's why they're growing out of that shit, dog.
And it's only right there too.
Mm-hmm. All you would have to do is basically the same thing. Copy that by fucking getting some grain, colonize the grain. Mix them all into the wood chips and then put them like underneath. Make sure that there's no grain that are like exposed to the air, you know what I'm saying? Just put a small surface of wood chips on top of them, and then put some type of plants that are gonna cover those wood chips. That's it, just like that. And them shits are fucking. Bro, you could even get pots, and plant a whole bunch of plants in a row, like flowers and wood chips, and then just. Boom, mix all the fucking colonized grain into the wood chips around the plant. And fucking, that shit'll just pop off, yo. It's just beautiful, dog. When you're in the right environment, that's how it works.
Uh-huh.
If you're not in the right environment, it just won't and just die out there.
Now, when I was looking for more, I was looking for those same rose bushes or whatever that bush was. I was like, let me find this leaf pattern. They seem to like this.
You know, the wavy caps, if you want to find cyanescence, find rhododendron tree.
A
They
rhododendron?
love rhododendron or rhododendron.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck? Wherever those trees are at, them bitches will be at the bottom. They love that wood. It'll be little shrubbery and shit too, but they love those trees.
UL was bringing up. No, not what he brought up. What I was thinking while you was talking, I said I was thinking about digging up that whole plot of dirt and just relocating it since they want to keep messing up that spot.
All you gotta do is grab. Listen, this is what you gotta do. Grab a jar, like a fucking baby food jar or something, and clean it real good. Alcohol, whatever, boil water, and fucking drop that fucking baby food jar in there, boil it for a little while, clean it, and then clean it with alcohol again, bleach a little bit, make sure it's clean, basically, sterilize it, steam sterilize it, whatever. Then just put distilled water in it, and 1 packet of sugar in the raw in it, and then next time when you go find Alanai, you bring it home, and you fucking put gloves on, and you rip the fucking stem right in half down the middle, like open it, dog, like break it in half like a blunt, and then take some of the meat from the inside that's clean, that hasn't touched nothing's touched it. You didn't touch it. Where it was at, didn't touch it, the inside meat, and put that inside meat inside of that water, and put the cap back on it, and leave it alone. And that shit will fucking turn into, mycelium will grow in there, and it'll become a clone of that specific fucking fruit that you plucked, and it'll turn into mycelium, liquid mycelium.
Oh, that's the best. Liquid culture.
Yeah, liquid culture. That'll be a liquid culture right there. Just sugar in the water and distilled water. Simple as that.
Hey, that's a
and
that's
then you
plain.
drop that onto BRF. Drop that onto BRF. The BRF, because the BRF is highly contaminant prone. So if you drop it onto BRF, the liquid culture, it'll colonize the BRF. And if you don't even have to wait for it to completely colonize that BRF, like I do the BRF in a Ziploc bag, and I wait. And as soon as I see BRF that's colonizing and turning white, I just rip a chunk off that shit and drop it onto some grain, and the grain colonizes the next day. I mean, not completely, but the next day I look at it and that's just already fluffy everywhere. Like, oh, okay, good. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. And that shit works just as simple as that, dog. Clean. You know what I mean?
I love mycelium and how it grows and stuff like that. It grows so fast, and to think that that's the actual mushroom, like not the fruit body, like that's more of what the mushroom actually is. And working with it.
You know what's funny too? Just it makes you very observant, because I was so fascinated that I was so observant that the sugar in the raw technique, I found out later that it was already known. But I figured that out by just watching Hamilton Morris, and by observing that when he went to Mexico, to Oaxaca, and when he went to fucking where Maria Sabina was from, that they went to a sugarcane farm, and the dudes was explaining to him that where they press the sugarcane, that the fucking mushrooms will flourish underneath the fucking where the fucking sugar water be dropping into the dirt and into the fucking the fibers from the sugar cane when they dispose of it, the leaves that are, you know what I'm saying? It's growing out of the leaf litter where the fucking sugar shit was fucking and it gave me the idea that I'm just gonna use sugar in the. I just dawned on me, like, I'm gonna just use that to make a liquid culture, and I did, and then I fucking started looking on shit, and it turned out to be that people do use it. You know what I'm saying?
And
that's amazing. It's very simple. It's simpler than it make it seem, though, because I just use fucking distilled water and a sugar packet.
No, shroomery would make something real confusing, because then you start reading the comments and people say, no, that didn't work with me and this and that. It's like, once you get in tune, like you're saying, with just building up your own intelligences, like that's what I think real intelligence is. Like being able to have an idea and make it work, like without having to go off of any other like anybody else's idea of how it's supposed to work. Like, you gotta use this much sugar to this much ratio of the water. It's like, no, I'm feeling it. I really can see. And I started getting like that. I guess that's a catchphrase trying to come up again. I'm trying to develop. But I remember when I was when I was drinking a lot of tea, and when I was working at the ice cream shop. But more when I drink tea and I'm making tea. I used to do this all the time. I'm just seeing the flash in memories now. I always used to make just enough for the cup to pour in a cup, like every last drop. It will fill it up right to the rim of the cup, and I wouldn't be measuring like, all right, holding like the sink for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and water evaporating at the same time. But I will always put just enough to fill up the cup, like to the top.
Yeah, I already figured that out too. What I use is a same old. When I bought Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
It came with a mug, a coffee mug that says it's black and it got some shit on it. But when you put hot stuff in it, the words come out. It says the dead don't. It says souls don't harvest themselves or some shit like that. Like the souls don't harvest themselves. And so anyways, that cup is what I use to measure because that's what I drink out of my teas and shit. So what I do is one coffee cup, when I drop it in there and I put it to a boil, when it's done, when the tea's all done, it ends up being only a half a mug, like a shot, just a fucking shot of liquid, dog. Always, no matter what, if it's 5 grams, 7 grams, I always use the same amount of water, dog, and it extracts perfectly into that little bit of water, like it's fucking crazy.
And only you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, and it's just because I try to do a double strain and all that shit. And this didn't make much of a difference, dog. You get all the magic out in one strain. It's just water soluble, bro. Like the fucking fibers don't hold the magic. It's like a sponge fiber material. It's like taking a sponge, literally, from the sink, put in dishwasher, saturated with dishwashing liquid, and then put it underwater and squeeze it a couple times and pump it with your hand until all the dishwashing liquid comes out of the fucking sponge. That's exactly what you're doing to the mushrooms in the water because they're water soluble and the shit just dissolves. It comes right off of them, just the same way dishwashing liquid comes out of a sponge. So they fucking turn the water grayish tan when you do it right. If it turns the water blue, it's oxidated and shit. That's the reason why you have to boil the water too. Water has oxygen in it, but when the water gets to a boiling point, the oxygen comes out of the water and it lowers the oxygen levels. So that's when, after you put it to a simmer, drop the shrooms in, oxygen levels are low, the shit fucking extra, it don't turn blue.
We on the same wavelength. I had the imagination while you was talking of cutting the stems and the oxygen getting inside of them and them turning blue. And then you started talking about taking the oxygen out the water and that's why they don't turn blue. I was like, oh, I never know that part. No, it's a science to everything. But that's why I think that the science that people concentrating on, like, it's going to reach the level that we're experiencing life on. And like once we in that reality where those two things is merging, it's awesome. It's lit. It already is. But you know what I mean? Like just traveling from place to place like that, flying cars or alien beings coming down, just saying hey. They just a friendly neighbor. Men in Black type stuff. Or Star Wars type stuff more. Where all the civilizations is just all cool with each other.
One time this is something I thought of real quick, man. I've had many experiences with girls having like out of body. Deaf ones or what, but she one time snapped out of it, dog, and told me, dog, that she seen some futuristic shit that she had to go somewhere, and then she stepped out the house, and that a fucking thing came right to her like a seat. It was like a seat. You just sit on it, and it sped off to where the fuck she wanted to go. It was a future. She said she was in the future, but she was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know it was going to be like that future. Like, I will never see no shit like that. That's way too... Like, what is that? Like, and she was asking me this shit, and I'm like, I don't know. That sounds crazy. Like, she has to go somewhere, and the seat came. It was just a seat that floated, like not just a circle chair, but it was like a seat with a little stem, like that floated like a seat type of thing. Like, I don't know, dog. It was weird the way she explained it to me, and it fucking just took off with her. Took her to where she had to go.
That's some good tech.
Yeah, like an Uber, like a drone, basically like a drone. without no rotors or nothing on it. It was just a seat that floated like magic, and it just took her wherever the fuck she wanted to go.
And guess what? Guess what, Ozo? In this reality, people still scared of self-driving cars. This is only the stepping stone to what's to come. And it's all just trying to break our mind. That's why I have no fear about technologies coming out. Or really a lot of fears, period. Like you said, laughing at them. Because it's here. Like, I'm ahead of driverless car and stuff. And it's going like, I'm just visioning now, like the hyperdimensional chair. Like, where do you want to go real fast? Like, take me. And then it probably run off your thoughts. Like, you know how soon we're going to be having our brain
like a drone,
interference.
like the Zapata fly fucking board.
Mm-hmm.
The Zapata fly board was a chair. I mean, boom, there it is. But it's just kind of weird, bro, that the way that fucking shit came out of nowhere.
It's the phenomena. That's what's been happening. I've been watching stuff. People talk about stuff like that on TV all the time.
Anti fucking. She don't like none of that shit, dog. Like fucking none of the, even the fucking like the. She says the Avengers are right, but she doesn't even follow. She doesn't even know what's going on. She just fucking says it's alright the way they make the movies, but she doesn't like those shits at all. None of them.
And
none of the alien shits. None of that shit. She don't give a fuck about none of that fucking fantasy shit at all.
And that's what just makes me say that is real. That's real. Like a lot of people be saying too. And I went through that myself in trips. Like, did I see that because I was watching this movie before, or because I had this thought? And it was kind of because of that on the highest sense. But then again, it's not at all. And then somebody else come across with the same like you come across a similar experience. We never met, opposite sides of the country, and it's like, yo, wow, like these phenomenons that's happening around the earth that people would like write off as just a quick YouTube video or just an experience or a thought. And it's like it's actually happening. That's just what the mushrooms be telling me. Like, man, all them weird experiences are real.
It's all an experiment. Life is all an experiment. Everything we know is we don't know shit. Like, it's like an experiment. Everything is like a social experiment as we go. Like, for higher beings. Like, we're just a social experiment, bro.
Social experiment. And that's why I ain't even mad. Because I ain't going to be running around saying, I'm trapped. Some demon or devil trapped me in this virtual reality and I don't know how to get out.
That would have been funny, though. Like, I'm that type of dude that I say stupid shit like that because I think it's funny to make fun of shit. Like when True said he was trying to get into hell and they didn't let him in. I'm like, dude, that would be funny if it was because it was like a crack house inside. It was all empty. Like, there's nothing there. Like, it's not whack and shit. Everybody shook for no reason. Or you go in there and it's like all like props and shit. It's like fake as fuck, like a studio, and it's like religious shit. Like, you have to believe in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just makes me laugh. And just me having even concepts like that is why I guess shit happens. Because you gotta have some comedian aspect to fucking laugh at the face of shit. Like, oh shit, the shark ripped off my fucking leg, dude. Like, wow. Like, that's the attitude you see from surfers that are dedicated to that shit. They laugh about it, dog. Like, it's just life, dude. Who gives a fuck about my arm, dog? I'm going back out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the way it is, dog.
It's a higher commitment.
Yeah.
Really is. Like, what are you really committed to? What are you really, and like, the tests really come. You see the person that's into this psychedelics and the person that's not. Unless you run across a crazy person, but then you just see that he just really awakened and he just glitching at the moment. Whatever awakened mean.
I just told y'all this shit that happened when I was like 13. It was alright, so basically I'm looking in the mirror and I'm brushing my hair. Came from the barber and I'm excited. Like, never lost my hair before, but I'm excited. I had the full hairline and I got super excited looking in the mirror, and it's like, why? But then coming to, like, you know what I'm saying, getting older, it's like, oh shit, I see why I was excited. You know what I'm saying? Because prior, before that, like in this lifetime, my shit is fading a little bit. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I see why I was excited in the past. You understand?
Yep. We see all
So it was
so much
like,
when we was little.
I already knew this shit was gonna happen, but you know what I'm saying, I got excited that I had the shit before I even knew what was. It's crazy.
No, you said it. You said it straight enough for me. That's straight to me. It might seem curvy to somebody else. Oh, because the dreams and stuff. Everything. And then like the more I'm doing messing with the psychedelics, the more it seems like I'm walking into my dreams. Like even if it seemed like you said, a dream that seemed like it didn't have nothing to do with what was going on now, or could have nothing to do with what's going on now. It's like it still it exists. Like that place, that world exists, and it exists inside of you, but not you. But only when you think about it, it seems like it's inside of you, because it's the you right here thinking. The you right here tying.
For real.
The universe ties, and that's why it exists. It's tying on itself. Oh gosh. And I see
threads.
Huh?
Yeah, threading, weaving.
Oh, and it's man. I hear now. I see my character too after going through trips. When I laugh and I say, "Oh man," like I really am bringing. I'm really bringing myself down because I'm a fool. Like I really am nothing but a fool, and I'm trying to come up with words to try to explain stuff.
Joe Justin said we're all gay.
You know that, Justin. That's why you come here.
Hey, that's that. I just summoned them just now. I said I'm a fool, and the fool has arrived. We ain't crazy.
Hey, Ozo, you ever gonna do the ACO?
Yeah. If I get my hands on the rough, I could steep, man. Yeah, that's fun.
I feel you. I'm about to grab some myself, yo.
That should
See what the hell is going on.
It seems like it's official. It's just it's no measuring. There's no knowing if you're going into Kalindi style or not. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like you never know. So
Without
it's
the
crazy.
True.
I'm definitely gonna compare it though. Like I definitely go and I love the mushies, and the thing about the mushies that is so different is that it's an organic bean, right?
Oh.
But not only that, but every strain, you could go to the same places, but they have different personalities, dog. Like a different personality to the strain. It's so strange, and I think the personality even fluctuates from grow to grow. Strain, the same strain, different grow will be a little slightly like. Dog, it's just strange, bro. I can feel these things, dog, just by going in, being able. That's why I recommend people to take it into their own hands, to do in the privacy of their home, and cultivate. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to sell nothing to nobody. Don't do nothing stupid that's gonna get you caught up, because that's where it becomes illegal. No doubt, there's a lot of things that are illegal, but you could do a lot of illegal things in the privacy of, and they don't become truly illegal until you bring it outside your privacy. Because in the privacy, you could do whatever the fuck you want. So,
And it's like your consciousness knows that too. Just to add.
Yeah, man. So having a source that you're the source, and fucking you could go as deep as you want. It's like now you can test it and find out things that are other people might not have the resources to keep on buying apes and fucking go or you know what I'm saying, and doing all this other extra shit. And it's like, because you could burn a patch out outdoors by ripping it apart all the time, and it's like they only grow for a certain amount of time anyways, weather conditions and all that shit. The best is making the condition inside and fucking getting it done right, or helping it outside and getting it done. But regardless, you just have to have access to it. You have to be your own supplier, dog, to get in trouble. So you can't get in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
It's the best feeling. It's the best feeling. And like you say, we were saying before, you see the progress from the mycelium all the way up to the fruit body, and you're there with it the whole time. So it's like your mind is the mind that you're used to is infused in it a lot more, so you're comfortable with a little more comfortable with taking it, and like now that your mind is in tune with it, it's like and it can create more of it. And this is the way to make more of it without having to spend your whole paycheck or go get a job just to get shrooms and then think about not caring about money and then having all this weird thoughts going on like, man, now I gotta sell some or whatever. It just all goes out the window. So you can just chill like the man in the mountains growing shrooms, but you in the house so you can turn on the heat.
No, and you expose yourself to, when you buy shrooms on the street, to somebody who's trying to fucking make a killing off of you when they didn't even grow that shit themselves. They just make it. They're just middlemen trying to make every single penny they can.
Yep, somebody tried that
Selling
with me.
Out of control prices that are retarded, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. If the shit is so simple, it shouldn't be like that. Like, you're giving somebody an experience. So that's why I just like cut all that out the way, getting in trouble out the way, because you don't want to be, doing this shit and then selling it or anything crazy like that. You could get in trouble for real. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
you
that
can't
paranoia
possibly, you can't possibly, though, if it's in your house, in the privacy you own, and you're not doing anything. There's no way. Even if they came in there and found it, it's still not illegal, dog, because that's illegal.
Personal use.
You know what I'm saying? And they gotta have probable cause. They got all this stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have it bagged up for individual sale and all some extra shit. You know what I'm saying? I like putting my shit into AP so that I know what I'm doing and I can see how much I actually grow. But when I'm done, sometimes I get a little iffy about it and I dump it all back in loose. Like, I don't put that shit in no baggie.
No little
like
baggies, like it's looking like
giving it to my friends and shit like that. I give it to them like that, though, a baggie or some shit.
Nah.
So I know I'm like 10 grams, here you go, or 5 grams here, or 3. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, it's better to have them all in one container, dog. One jar, big jar or something, with some desk.
Nah, Mr. Justin.
You can eat one mushroom for the rest of your life. You go to the grocery store, get a portobello, cut that thing up, eat on one mushroom for the rest of your life.
I was thinking of doing that with shiitake.
Shiitake too. The best one though that I seen that was the dopest one, that was from Paul Stammer's website, from Fungi Perfecta, that they had a little log that was like the size of somebody's phone that was already mycelium
Inoculated,
yeah, with shiitake, and all you had to do was hydrate it and put it in the windowsill in direct light, and that shit with the fucking fruit right there, wherever in the kitchen, in the house, right there, out the log. That's the log.
Yeah, I was looking at it. It was just like a can full of shiitake for $6. I was like, whoa. Well,
they got
been
cans
like
too.
that.
Yeah, they got shit like that. But I think the log one was the best, the one that I liked the most. Just dope to have, and you could do it over and over for a while with that same log.
Back in the day, I used to at the self checkout have a whole bag full of shiitake mushrooms. This was not even California, and then I used to ring it up as the button mushrooms. I used to be stacking all the time. I didn't care about stealing or the laws. I was just switching remix and stuff. I was like, oh, these are healthy. I heard about them, and I ain't know about psychedelics that much yet. So I was like, oh, this shiitake mushrooms, they helping me. Da da da. I was eating them.
The whole culture. Learning it teaches you secrecy, teaches you cleanliness, teaches you patience, it forces you to be patient, dog, because you'll fuck it up. So it forces you to fucking do all this other shit, because if not, it'll fuck it up. Like, you gotta fucking just do shit natural. Like, I found ways to do it without using measurements, without using that shit. I just use my eyeballs and my fucking, and what I feel is right, dog. Like, I use technology, of course. I found all the text I read. I made sure I found every fucking trick of the book there is, dog, before I started, dog. Like, I'm very thorough.
That's how it is with professionals, like professional in any field. I'm thinking of chefs. They ain't exactly measuring, like, what's a pinch? What's a pinch of sugar or a pinch of salt? That's to their judgment. And the best ones I've seen, cause I see that with myself in cooking, and like the mushrooms be having me just playing around, being creative, like baking and making different doughs and adding this much baking soda this time and too much that time, and it's a lot of cool things, and I really get to see my own hands in it, and with the mushrooms too. It's I just can't. Yeah, just mushrooms too. You'll if you ain't do something right with that jar, you'll see in 2 weeks when you see a little spot. And if you don't want to get that upset again, you'll switch up and have the patience because you got that far the first time. You're like, I want to see that white stuff again. No homo. I want to see it grow. See it take over this jar.
I'm about to have like 4 more, like not now, but I'm gonna soon have 4 more grow. I got a couple strings, but I'm gonna have 4 more of all truths. I gotta get them. I'm gonna have the hard shag pop and the Melmac, penis envy. I'm gonna have the PE6, which is the fucking penis envy mixed with Texas orange cap, and I'm gonna have the fucking the other one is
Those are big ones. That PE6.
yeah. Oh, and the albino A plus, albino double A plus. I'm gonna have those. So I'm gonna have the rusty white. Like, dog, all my shit's gonna be basically exotic right now. After these, and the Mazda is also considered almost an exotic, but it's not.
Is that the one that Marina Sabrina had?
Yep.
That's a Sabrina.
Exactly.
Sabria?
But Maria. Yeah, man, that's why it's so spiritual, man. 100%, dog. I will always. This fucking Mazda has given me nothing but bliss. I gave my boy a fucking A for chocolate, dog. I still haven't even about that.
You said you gave him an A for chocolate?
Just an A of chocolate, dog. And fucking, he was tripping balls. Like, I had him calling me at 4. Are you here? And I didn't, like, he texted me that. I didn't notice that he texted me that till the next day and shit. What? 7 in the morning. And I called him, like, I didn't get his text. Like, what do you mean, are you here? Like, I thought he was outside my crib or something. So I'm like, what's up? What you mean? He was like, nah, like, he thought I was in his house. He was talking to me. I was there with him while he was tripping. I was there. I was sleeping, but I was over there with him, talking to him, answering questions. And then all of a sudden, I disappeared. And he was texting me like, if I... like, what the fuck?
People, I could say people really don't know who they talking to. I used to say all the time that I was talking to my family when I would be at the bus stops or home, because they say I didn't talk to them that much in high school. But I always swore up and down that I was having conversations, them answering, responding. But then when I would see them back in person, they would say, hey, I ain't talked to you in forever. Like, why are you always not talking? But in me, I would actually feel satisfied. So when you telling me that story on mushrooms, I'm like, that was just the ultimate reminder. Thought he had you on his mind and he was talking to you, that it just brought you there. Like, he just manifested that version of you without being you. Like, all your personality, your traits and stuff. Like, we're not just our body. We're so much more. Like, this body is a hologram, if anything.
Yo, all of us, right? All of us talking. This is a training ground. That are coming, listening to us. What happened? It's like they learn not only from their trips that they're taking, but they all the community. They hear us and shit going to the trip. Because I've already heard from a few people that I laugh every time I hear a motherfucker talk about. They heard me and they're talking shit.
You was there with me too, bro, when I first did the big dose. It was you, Debit.
Like, dog, if you go down this hallway and you lose your mind.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what you said. I was trying to remember. You said if you see some crazy stuff and just something you said, and it happened. He popped up and I was cool.
You get to a point that you realize you could lose your mind.
Yeah, that's. I see myself there now, and laughing at myself like, you was tripping. Oh, well, it's funny. It's funny. Cause then I see now too, while people that was taking these psychedelics back in the day was putting out all these phrases that was going against religion or going against a social standard or something like that. Like they just found it so funny that people was going to get mad at it. That's how funny it was. You know it's funny when people can get either mad at it or fun or laugh when it's either or. No, like trying middle ground stuff. That's when it's good. Got some good stuff.
Yeah, that's just.
Justin said we are learning that we create reality inside out, and you will come back until you understand. But then before they say you're smarter than your conscious thoughts. I don't know, like what are those conscious thoughts? Just a game. That is why, like, consciousness is something we interact with. If you want
Yo,
to
fam,
like
this
that.
is the fucked up thing
Yeah.
about the consciousness, right? My consciousness, like my body was laying down, and my consciousness seeped out of my body, like if I was sitting up and stood up like a ghost and walked the fuck away, dog. Like, you don't need your body. Your consciousness isn't even part of your fucking body, dog. Like, that shit was so fucking strange that I have far and wide for all kind of explanations about that shit. I found just only the shaman, that they go into their tent, into the darkness, and they fucking find the herd, which way they're heading, and so follow the motherfucker. And we'll tell motherfuckers exactly where the herd is going, where the food is at, where the water's at. Like, all that shit. And that's the only explanation there is, dog. Like, you literally transcend your body somehow. And it just shows you that your fucking body, if you're outside of it and something happens to it, you're fucked. Because your body got, your tether just broke. Now you're fucking free floating now out here. In the your awareness is outside the body now, and it's shut out if you break the tether by killing the body. And fucking the body also gets to a point that it withers down and it releases you regardless.
I was gonna say regardless.
But the tether to be broken would be an anxiety trip, like fucked up, because we're not done. We're not metamorphosized. Like, we're not, like, it's the caterpillars in the cocoon still, and you rip it open and it's not done changing into a butterfly yet. We got to get our scruples and our mind and our fucking thoughts right and aligned in a way that we're balanced, that we don't have little beliefs that are pulling us one way or the other, you know, thinking that we know anything. We don't know. We have to be normal like water, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. We don't have to have answers. We don't have to fucking, we could just, and fucking, once you get into that state, dog, it becomes a lot easier, bro. This is not easy shit, bro. I'm saying it sounds easy, but state of being, bro.
Water don't know what it is. Like, imagine
that's the first thing I thought of was water, too.
Water be like, man, I'm ice when I'm on this mountain. I flow down, now I'm part of this big river. Like, where does other water come from? Now I'm steam, it's hot. I'm floating, I can fly. I'm in this cloud now. It just go all these different changes. And before that, I was thinking of butterflies when you say moths and us having a story. I have these cocoons for like the past five months now. And before, one of them hatched a couple months ago, and I was surprised because I thought that they was done, because usually last batch we had, it only took like a good 2-3 weeks and the butterflies hatched. Like, that was the time I believed that they were supposed to hatch. But these ones, it's been like 5 months, and one of them actually hatched 2 days ago. I was getting my numbers mixed up. 2 days ago, one of them hatched. And I found it above my bathroom. And I was like, yo, you was in that cocoon all of this time. Like, I thought you would have died by now. You was already dead, or that the process
probably
just didn't
simulate.
work.
You know what's happening is probably that the atmosphere inside your crib is simulating summer or spring or whatever the fuck, and it's trying to get out. But you got to make it a little bit colder so that motherfucker thinks it's supposed to stay in there until spring to pop out. That way we can release it.
I sure fooled him. Thought Thought you was gonna get out early.
It's like, dang, this is a long summer, bro.
Yes. But yo, movies is real, and the things I was thinking that we pay attention to in movies, they really speak to us. And the same thing in life. Like that butterfly hatch, the day before, the morning of when me and True did that trip, and I had a thing that I just had all this feeling that all this stuff was going to occur. Like so many thoughts was occurring that it's still not. I still can. I guess that's why it's coming out. I still can admit that it's not fully processed. It's not processed, but it's like when I was having those thoughts, I was so aware. I was so in it. That, I guess as they always say, I was holding on to as much as I was able to hold on. Like even after the experience, it seemed like that started it off. I remember saying, "Oh, it's a butterfly hatch. It's gonna be a beautiful day." Like this wasn't supposed to happen, and now it happened. Now more stuff that seemed like it wasn't supposed to happen was supposed to happen, but it was already happening because it was already in store. It was just in a kind of cocoon all this time, you know. And now it's out, and now it's gonna keep going because now that butterflies don't even know it's about to transform into something else later. Like a Pokemon. I always said that too. I said, how they keep coming out with more evolutions for Pokemons years down the line? They got Mega Evolution. They got the Z Evolution now where you can physically fuse with your Pokemon. It's like all these different fusions. Like you never really know what the next evolution step is, but you just keep making yourself stronger and whatever that means to you. Like different Pokemon trainers got different agendas and stuff. Now, it's just all to each his own. Pikachu never wanted to evolve, but that's just so he could stay cute and adorable and appeal to the masses. I'm thinking of why the creators made Pikachu the same and he never wanted to evolve. They made him have the character to not ever want to evolve into Raichu and stuff like that. They wanted him to still mask, but when you don't want to really appeal to what's going on around you, even no matter how cute and adorable you are or how aggressive son, like you really now can evolve. You can evolve and grow a step. See what's next for you.
You know that's crazy that these dudes like fucking we're over here kicking it, right, and we're getting lost in the fucking, you know what I'm saying, combo and shit. It's like, dude, True and fucking Piano Key went in at what time did they start?
Like 6. Well, it was earlier than that. Yeah, I want to say like 5 or 6, bro. I got 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 12 right now. Where I'm at.
It was before the sun went down. The sun went down like at 5:30, 6 o'clock. So yeah, they started at like 2 or 3 maybe.
They probably hearing this conversation right now in another world.
Are you still live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
For a little while.
That's
longer.
crazy though. They've been on and for True to pop in a little while ago, that wasn't too long ago when he popped in and said still on, like that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's that
Like
set
the
and
mushrooms,
setting.
for me they usually last a good 4 hours strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then it tapers down. Like it tapers.
No matter
out
what you take?
Yeah, even when I took the 10 grams, no, the 10 grams was like a good hard 5.5 hours, dog. Like it was hard 5.5 hours. But fucking, yeah, but it just seems like it's not, like usually like between, like it's always like 2 or 3, like 4 and 5 hours. Not, it's never the 8. Like I haven't never had 8 hours of tripping balls, and it seems like both times that True took in that shit is like an 8 hour, like that's like dope. That's like a full trip.
Yeah, the trip, because you know during the come down, like we all be like, man, I wanted to go back up, even though we be fighting it while it's there. Yeah, that's a good trip.
It's a real good trip, or a deep one at least, man.
That's what I said. They
the 10 one was
too.
deep, dog. Like some parts of it is like, whoa, man. Like you can't even think that. My mind always floats to like how the mushrooms capable of unlocking this side of my brain. Like, well, how, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I not able to do this shit without, like, it's just like a food, like a source. Like, I keep finding that out. Like, every time I think that way, it's not even about them doing this shit to me. It's more of It's more of a unlocking, like it's a food, like it's a nitro turbo fuel.
You need carbohydrates to burn. Your body burns fat for energy. Your body burns psilocybin to connect to the...
Yeah, not even the body, the brain. It's like it's a brain only. Yeah. It's all brain food.
Dude, I can feel my brain fucking creasing and folding. Do you guys feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely, dog. It feels like a magnetic pull. I feel it folding. It feels like magnet moving opposition, and I can feel it even moving my nerves around my eyes, like twitching because of the shit folding in my brain. And I've even felt like my on the fucking whatever. It's like snap, crackle, and popping. I think that's like brain food. Like the neurons are communicating. Snapping. Well, I don't know what that. I think it's the neurons firing that I can feel it physically and hear it in my audibly in my ears, like clap, 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 like Rice Krispies all night. Like those must
like
be neurons.
Increases the wheels, bro. Like I got jumped once. I got hospitalized, so I got a tremor in my whole body. Like my body shakes, my hands, my teeth, everything like slowly shakes a little bit. But when I microdose, bro, it goes fucking smooth. Everything's connected. There's no like double thought. My thoughts like go into line.
Right. You combine that with alignment, you keep doing it, it'll probably make a permanent pathway.
That's what I'm on now. Keep that path engraved so I don't forget. It's like I was thinking a video game, and in order to have certain skills and abilities in the world, you gotta keep that psilocybin, that tryptamine meter at a certain level, or you start losing certain abilities.
You gotta get that renown, bro. Oh shit! Remember, like CJ was the illest character that you could make him fucking turn everybody into a fucking gang member. That shit was hilarious.
That was the first one. They made like a RPG. You can get fat.
That shit was retarded, yo.
I want to replay that on the PC. They remade.
Yeah, they're gonna have it. They're gonna have it for PlayStation 5. Every game that ever came out.
Oh yeah, you're saying that. And hopefully it's upscaled.
Yeah, of course. And they're making they're still working on the Rockstar's making a new Grand Theft Auto 6, bro. That's gonna be the game of the console, bro.
That's gonna be the only game I play for a long time. It's about the only game I play on PS4.
Time.
You know what city they're gonna be at?
No.
I don't know. Anybody know?
Will they combine all of them? Los Santos.
They should just make them all. Make the planet. Make the United States. Period.
Yeah, make a country.
That's
Open world United States. It's gotta be too much.
Justin. I don't subscribe to any word. I'm talking Justin in the chat.
That what?
He funny. He said those feelings you have, those energy sparkles, those are symptoms of being gay. All caps.
Oh my god. Yeah. Justin got glitter in his eyelids right now.
He's got the high heels.
Yeah. He's in Amsterdam. They're allowed to do shit like that. There's no they don't judge.
as long as he stays away from.
That's funny.
Oh man. Red Light District. That's just hilarious.
That's all I used to hear about in movies.
Yeah. The whole world knows about the Red Light District in Amsterdam. That's just funny.
It's funny to appeal to all those things too before psychedelics. Like, oh, this the thing to do. Something far, foreign, exotic. It's like, nah, this mushroom is exotic.
Man, listen, man, look up the psilocybin. Hog Shagini. Oh, this is another one I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get the Gandolini too. I'm gonna have the fucking Sclerotia fucking Gandolini. It makes the Atlantis truffles. So I'm gonna have. Oh man, I'm mad excited about that, dog. Cause all I gotta do is make bags of grain, colonize them, and leave them alone. And that's it. and they fucking rock them out for like about 3 months, 2 months. Yeah, they rock, and as soon as the fucking squosher forms in the bag, you'll see the difference between the grain and the fucking truffles. And then what you do is you just break it up, pull the truffles out, separate the truffles from the grain, and then you take the grain and you fruit that shit on some fucking goddamn, on some substrate, and you still get shrooms after you get the fucking truffle. Ooh. So you got a double harvest.
Truffles are the roots, right?
They're basically the mushrooms inverted into a ball underneath into the mycelium. Instead of going into they revert into a ball that looks like a walnut. But
instead of going up, it grows down. Do they produce spores?
No, they're just a packet of
Should have brought an umbrella, Justin.
Oh, that's dope.
They're weaker than the I read something that mycelium itself could produce spore, dog, without even no shrooms. That mycelium, if it wants to, it can produce spore. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But so yeah, fucking but that shit right there, man. Look at the Hogshigini, dog.
I was trying to spell it.
It's hog, like a hog. I think it's with 2 G's, dog. And then shag, like the SHAG, and then ENII, something like that.
Oh, it came up because it came up spores when I put in II.
That shit is amazing.
Dude, life is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
At every point.
Fuck. It's a trip, bro.
Oh, yeah, I see how this is now. It's brown and has a bell-shaped cap.
They're very much like wood chip lovers, but they grow in the parameters like golden teachers, and except that the dude said that all they need is straw and a tiny bit of fucking manure he used. That's it. Like, so I'm gonna just use a small amount of black cow, all straw, and get the. And they got them out of a fucking. They don't grow no more in the wild.
I was thinking about doing an inoculation run of just straw and vermiculite.
Vermiculite would all it would do. It works. It would, cause all it would do is
straw and vermiculite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The vermiculite would work because the vermiculite, all it would do is just hold in moisture. That's it. Because the straw releases moisture fast. It dehydrates. It evaporates mad quick out of the straw, so the straw dries out mad fast. So the vermiculite will help keep it hydrated. But
Hey Justin, you said you wish we could all live and talk like this every day in a commune. No jobs, just live. That's the one we have in Holland. Write out the directions so amateurs can learn the method of growing shrooms. I talked to I talked to Ozo about that last year. I told him let me just get my experience game up so I can contribute as much as he will contribute. Or just a little bit. Know what I'm talking about through experience. But it's coming out. It's gonna come out. I know it's gonna be pseudo names like Terrence and Dennis did back in the day. That'd be coming through my mind. But whatever happens, happens. Need to pin his feet down. Alright, go down. Whose feet? Whose feet? But really, I think the sooner the better too, cause I'm getting experience in and stuff like that, and we can always make a volume 2. Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. Update technique. Oh, I just learned this. Buy my new book. But probably spread it out so it's not trying to just take people for what they got. You gotta keep all your bases covered. But yeah, I'm probably going to sign out of here soon, guys. And Ozo, if you're there, I'm going to sign out soon. Cook some chicken. Getting back into meats and stuff like that. It's going to be my second time eating chicken in like 2-3 years. I got some chicken fillets or breast or something this time instead of the wings. But it's free range, no hormones and all that. So-called, well, what I guess I created as good stuff to go by. So, I'm gonna do that today. Celebrate the rest of this. Enjoy the rest of this birthday. I'm always celebrating something, so I'm just gonna enjoy this time and title it under I'm celebrating the birthday. But Ozo, thanks for coming by, bro. We always chatting it up in the ethers and just putting words while we talking together here. Like we somewhere else. And Exile too. Exile, man. You barely say the word, so I know you there. Talking in my mind. Talking in all of our minds. And Esco was there earlier. 2-6. King Oz. True over there in the hyperdimensional realms. Piano Key to Bro. His first high dose psilocybin experience. All this is history for this timeline. But we done this quadrillion times before. And that's why we found this one instance where we all met up here. Amongst our traveling the journeys. And we traveled here real fast to be like, hey, look what I'm seeing on my journeys, or what I'm able to say to you through this body right now, through you, talking through you, through me, and blah, blah, whoa, 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 whoa. This is what it is right now, and this is how it comes out, through the YouTube, the cameras, the lights, and hopefully soon, how Justin said, we all meet up, don't gotta have no real job, like how they've been saying, like just being over broke, and just giving ourselves away to people, like all this cool stuff. And thanks, Yolanda, for being there, for chatting alongside too. And hopefully you guys we enhanced your Wizard of Oz watching experience and added some tidbits, some Easter eggs that you probably see. Let us know what you find out while you was watching that movie the next time. And Uwell was there earlier. I don't know where you really are, Uwell. You there too. Well, that's the story you created for yourself, and you know exactly what you doing, bro. So salute. Yeah. Like this video for those watching in the future. Like this video, subscribe, bell notifications so you can join the chat, Discord, Instagram. If you want to jump on the talky talk, chatty up, or send some pictures, some artwork, anything creative, and you want a platform that you want it to be expressed on until you get yourself your own platform, or this is a shared platform. However, I'm just trying to put it every way possible to make it comfortable for anybody to jump on and do anything. And we just tie and combine our minds with our hearts and letting whatever come out just come on out. So with that, adios. I'm out.